Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. I haven't posted a video in a while because I'm still trying to find my voice on this channel. I talk to a lot of people about what it's like being over 50, and I'm always looking for ideas of what we struggle with and how we can thrive. Today, I just want to do a short talk about letting go and forgiving members of your family who, while they weren't like abusive in a really bad way, did things that pissed you off and made you upset, maybe made you cry when you were younger, and you realize that, oh my God, they're just human beings who are dealing with their own stuff. So often we carry things around with us on our backs for years, maybe our whole lives. And I recently had a conversation with somebody because they made a comment about me, and this was somebody in my family, and they actually meant it as a compliment. And they talked about the fact that, they had an opinion of me. And it turns out, spending a little time with me, maybe that opinion wasn't right. And I don't want to go into details. I certainly don't want to name who this person was, but the compliment sort of hurt my feelings. But at the same time, I realized that if you don't spend time with people, or you haven't spent time with them in the last 5, 10, shoot, in this case, 30 years, they really can't know who you are. And so people who carry around opinions about you when they haven't spent any time with you, that's all about them. Because here's the thing, as a good person, you're probably growing and learning all the time. And so after 5 years with no contact, how in the world can they have an opinion about you? Because in 5 years, you can change drastically. When I turned 50, I made this decision that I was going to make age 50 to 75 the best years of my life. And I'm now 56. If somebody hasn't spent any time with me, they might know me from when I was 45, 35, 25, but a lot of who I am as a person is changing and growing. So people who hold opinions about you from your past, maybe even as far back as your childhood, let it go. Don't carry around things that they think about you. If people really don't know who you are at your heart and your soul, then they can't judge you. Their judgments just prove that they're kind of an idiot. So when I was in my early 20s, I had a cousin who made me cry. Like, I wasn't a big crier at that time in my life, but she really insulted me. And again, I don't need to go into details about what was said, but it was a real sort of personal attack on me. And again, I'd spent no time with this person since I was an early teen. My mom had passed away when I was 18, and I don't think I spent a lot of time with this person ever again. And yet when I was about 23 or 24, we were at a family gathering. I had moved away and I was back, and this person said something really nasty. Later that night, I was really upset, and I was staying with my dad, and I was almost in tears. Well, I was in tears over what was said. And my dad looked at me and said, "How much time have you spent with this particular cousin who was much older than I am? How much time have you spent with this person in the last 5 years?" And I said, I don't think I've seen her at all. My dad said, "Then that comment she made is in her head." And he pointed out that this person had their own struggles in life and loved to pick on other people. He said, "It's just the way the person is. Picks on other people to make themselves feel good." And he counseled me and said, throughout your life, you're going to run into people who will do things like this. Now, at the time that my dad counseled me with this, it didn't really make me feel better. But looking back now, 30 plus years later, I realized my dad was really right. What power did this person have over me? Why did I care so much for validation from this distant family member who I wasn't even close with? It's not like, for many of you, you and your cousins grew up together and you were peers. I'm the youngest of 26 grandchildren, and the oldest was 30 years old when I was born. And this person in question was closer to the oldest than they were to me. So don't let people get under your skin. Recently, having a conversation with a family member, this came up and we shared this conversation. This other family member kind of paid me an intentional compliment that went back to sort of the incident from 30 years ago. And I realized, you know what I can do? I can just let it go and I can forgive this person. So now every time my family members and any of the cousins who I'm not close with, and I'll let you in on a secret, one of my problems with my family was I was so much younger than all my cousins. And the thing I really wanted was to have a relationship with them. I wanted a cousin style relationship with so many of these people, but because they were 20 and 30 years older than me, I was just some pesky little kid who very few of them gave me the time of day. I can think of 4 or 5 cousins that I have a really good relationship with now because when I was a kid, they paid attention to me and they realized that I wasn't their peer, but I had this unique thing of being so much younger, where most of them, I was just kind of in the way. Anyway, whenever I think of any of these people, I don't have an ongoing relationship with them. You know what I do? I smile and I send love. And I realize that the family I grew up in had its own set of problems. I was distanced from a lot of that, but I can't hold a grudge. And that's my advice to you. If you've got something that happened in your family in your past that wasn't real abusive, but just something like somebody saying something nasty, if you're carrying it around, forgive that person. Even if they've passed away or you're not around them, you don't have to say it to their face. Just forgive them to the universe. And while you're doing that, every time they cross your mind, send love to them or to their memory. And I'll tell you what, since I did this, I feel so much better about my relationship to how I grew up in the family I grew up in, as far as my extended cousins and everybody else. So I think that we can, as we get older, just say, hey, you know what? That person who pissed me off, they have their own problems. They've got their own issues. I've got my own problems and my own issues. You know what? I'm not going to let their judgments get under my skin anymore. So if you're living life after 50 and you're carrying around some problems from some conflicts that happened when you were in your 20s, find a way, and it's different for all of us, to just let it go. I'll tell you what, I don't really care what that particular person thinks or thought of me, because I've gone on and I'm doing okay. And I'm just going to go forward with the fact that I got to live my life. I can't worry about them. So good luck to them. I send them love. They are my cousin. But beyond that, I don't have to cross paths with people who don't have any respect for me. So just live your life, let go, and try to find ways to make the second half of your life, 50 to 75 and beyond, the best years of your life. And forgiveness and letting go, that's a good first step. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Maybe go back and see a couple of the others I've done. I would love some comments on things you'd like me to cover on this somewhat new YouTube channel about life after 50. Thank you.